Welcome everyone to the Nerd Nook. I'm your host Evan Teague, with like always is Noah Bailey. Noah, are you at all interested in Paramount Plus?
Probably not, but I actually don't know what they have.
Okay. Well, yesterday Paramount tried their absolute hardest through a very familiar format on Twitter to try to get people interested in Paramount Plus. You remember back in like October 2019 when Disney had that like 400 long thread of stuff that was coming to Disney Plus?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did something similar yesterday and just announced like a bunch of new shows, returning shows, like just stuff coming to Paramount Plus, which is, I guess, Viacom's streaming service.
Okay.
Everyone's got to have one these days. It's a hip thing to do.
Seriously.
Yeah. So they officially announced that the ad version will be $4.99 a month, and then the no ad version will be $9.99 a month. So
Okay. Not super expensive. They're not super. I mean, it's more than Disney Plus without ads, but it's not like, you know, 14, 15, 90, bold as it can be.
yes,
So many people
but
care.
it is interesting how Disney can get all of their stuff, all of it, all their exclusive, pumping 150 million into Mandalorian and WandaVision and other exclusive shows like that, having like 4 or 5 of those running at the same time, having all of that backlog stuff on there, paying only what is going to go up to $8. Woo! Like, which, and then Paramount Plus, which like the stuff I'll go over in a minute, like seems at least kind of enticing. It's just weird that like clearly Disney isn't charging enough for what they are worth, although
Exactly.
because they're charging so little, other stuff seems like it's overpriced.
Yep. And see, and that's kind of what and I think that's kind of just, they're kind of just forcing the hand of their competitors because it's like, okay, we're Disney. We don't need to charge a lot because
Mhm.
obviously we have revenue coming in
Yes.
by the boatloads. And all these other people don't. So all they're doing the Walmart strategy basically. It's like
Uh-huh.
we'll have, or the McDonald's, we'll have a dollar menu until everyone else is just convinced we're better,
Uh-huh.
and then we can up the price. Netflix even did this. Now
Yeah.
they're like $15, I
It's
think now. But like,
ridiculous. Like,
yeah, like at the time though, like yeah, they were the only ones in the business. They didn't charge that much. Everybody dropped cable, got Netflix,
mhm.
and now everyone's doing Netflix and they're Disney Plus doing it cheaper. You can get Hulu and ESPN Plus with Disney Plus for less than Netflix.
Yes. Which is, I mean, it's still the Hulu with ads, but
But still,
still,
like,
you probably get Showtime thrown in too. Like,
yeah, probably. You won't use it, but you have it. Like, it's so, yeah, like, and it's so weird because like they can simply because they need to. Like that's
mhm.
all they have to do. It's like, all right, all we got to do, just lowball it right now. Everyone else has to highball in order to stay in business. They
Mhm.
eventually run out of business, then we take over. And I mean, that's all they really have to do. And like again, like Paramount Plus, CBS All Access, all these like streaming services that no one asked for are just kind of riding. They're just biding time at this point. I mean, that's all they can really do.
Yeah, and like the one thing this like huge press release thing didn't do a super good job at was explaining if this was a different thing than CBS All Access. Because
Yeah.
originally it was announced that CBS All Access would be then rolled into Paramount Plus, similar to how HBO Now Go then rolled into just together HBO Max, along with all the
Right.
DC Universe content, just all together HBO Max. We're still, at least as of this recording, we're still not entirely sure if CBS Plus is or CBS All Access is going to be a part of Paramount Plus, or if they're going to be two separate things. I hope if they are two separate things in the future, let's be like, we'll just put it together, but whatever. Yeah. Uh, they definitely could have done a better job at that.
Absolutely.
But now to go over some of the announcements that they actually did, say to try to entice people. The first thing I heard, and absolutely the most exciting thing, maybe like the most exciting thing I've heard all year, honestly, as part of the Paramount Plus uh, service announcement, Nickelodeon announced they're making an Avatar Studios section.
Yeah.
Like,
they've got the original creators on it. Like, it is as advertised.
With multiple animated shows, movies, one shot, spin offs in the works with the original creators at the helm.
Exact. And I think this comes kind of with that whole Netflix thing. It's like, all right, this is the second time we've tried to go with our thing, and then someone else wants to do it, thinks they can do it better than us. So now they're like, forget it, we'll do it do it ourselves,
Yeah.
and like, you know, and like, as they should, because again, like, no one, you can't, no, they don't know their they don't know their product better than the original people who made it. They don't. Like, you can't just let it go.
Yes. And this, I feel, a part of me feels a little jaded by the fact that, you know, Nickelodeon has screwed over this franchise for years. This easily could have and should have been a cash cow for Nickelodeon. Like, you know, they knew Avatar had this cult following even at the time. They knew Legend of Korra should have been this huge deal, but because the way they handled it, it just kind of like tainted the name of Avatar forever.
Yeah.
That's their fault.
100%.
But now that, you know, Avatar and Korra are both doing extremely well on Netflix, and Avatar and, you know, the Last Airbender show is happening with Netflix, it seems like, you know, Nickelodeon's like, ooh, we can get back in the action. A part of me thinks that might have been what happened, but more likely what happened was the people behind Avatar, I didn't write their names down, but people behind Avatar, you know, they were working on Netflix's Last Airbender live action show. And then they weren't happy with that because, for starters, apparently it's come out that apparently Katara is going to be the older sibling now. She'll be 16. Sokka's still going to be 14. I guess Aang's still going to be 12. What?
I guess Mike, see, and like, this is my thing. Why? What does that like? What is that? Why? Like, there's no reason for that.
Like, a part of me is okay with them changing some things here and there, because the entire time I'm thinking, why are they even making this when the original show is so perfect? So them changing some things here and there isn't the worst idea, but I feel they're only doing this because they want to make Zutara a thing, right? Like that, although, I mean, not that that doesn't make sense, but it just seems like a weird, like it just seems a little a misguided way to like keep people invested in the show. To be like, oh, like, even though I might not like what's going on, they're actually going to make Zutara a thing, so I'm going to watch just to see that, even though it's not going to be the Katara and Zuko you know from the original shows.
Right, it's not going to be earned the same way. And also, what I don't like too is like, why only Katara? Like, you could make them the same age, or just not change the ages at all. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or like, if you age up everyone, that's one thing. Like, that's probably fine. But if you age up just Katara, it's kind of like, why just Katara? Like, I know she's like the mom figure, but I think part of the like foil between her and her brother's relationship was she was the younger sister who was kind of the mom figure anyway, which kind of worked.
And Sokka had this idea that he needed to be, you know, the strong, you know, like the strong leader of his tribe at such a young age, partly protect his sister, partly just to protect his village from the Fire Nation. If his sister is older than him, that kind of breaks down in a way that, like, I don't
yeah. And also kind of like, you know, her being the younger son, but also like a very powerful bender. He's just a guy with boomerang for some of the time. So it's kind of like that dynamic, you know, that dynamic, like that little sibling better than me kind of thing is always like a clever dynamic. And like, it's interesting because like, it just feels like it's like one of those moves that's just kind of like, I don't see the potential benefits of this, but I see a lot of potential dropbacks from this
Exactly.
initially. And I'm not. It's too early to tell. But this is one of those things that I feel like the original creators were like, "What?"
Yeah. Like they probably saw that along with probably several other major changes to their beloved Avatar. They were like, we're done. And, they left pretty early after
Yeah.
it was announced. So probably after that, especially after Avatar and Korra got really big on Netflix again, they probably went to Nickelodeon and was like, okay, listen up. We know how to make Avatar. Netflix is trying to make Avatar. As you can see from on Netflix, Avatar stuff is really hot right now. We're super passionate and we want to make more Avatar stuff. Let us make more Avatar stuff. Nickelodeon was like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, because to be real, I mean, what else is Nickelodeon really doing right now?
Well, we'll get to that actually a little bit later. But
That's true, but that's fair.
uh, I just hope, please, please, Nickelodeon, don't make the same mistakes you did with Korra and just let them do whatever they want. Don't try to pigeonhole them don't tell them they only have one season, but then you actually randomly give them another season and then move the third season to a different way to watch it and then like back and forth. Just
So
no.
brutal.
Keep it on one platform. Keep it tell them they can make however many seasons they want. Tell them don't try to give any limitations. Just let them do Avatar stuff. Avatar movie, sequel shows, one shots, all of that is just fantastic. Probably we're gonna get, Zuko's mom arc in animated. Yes.
Yeah, it's a really good comic. I mean,
Yeah.
why not? It's like, uh, and this is kind of like, I know this is kind of like, but it's like that, older, 5, 10 years in the future Avatar thing. It's like that's what, I'm telling you, that, the fan base would lose their mind.
Yes. And especially since the original voice actors, they're 15 years older now. We know
Yeah,
Sokka still sounds pretty much like Sokka.
they would all. I mean, I think they all are still good.
Sokka still sounds like Sokka since he's one of the main characters in Dragon Prince on Netflix. I'm pretty sure the guy that played Aang and the woman that played Katara. They don't. It's one of those things where it's insane how these people didn't really go on to do much other stuff.
Yeah,
But I'm sure if they were asked to do more Avatar stuff, they would jump at the chance. I know for a fact. Oh no, I'm blanking on his name.
Dante Bosco.
Yeah, Dante Bosco.
It's okay. It's okay.
No, for
it's
a
okay.
fact, Dante Bosco would
100%, and Grey Griffin for sure. He would be back.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
She even she's on TikTok doing Azula stuff. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So I know she's in on it. So yeah, no, they would probably get everyone they needed back. Anyone maybe some minor characters they might have to shift some voices, but I think for the most part, yeah, and that's why when you do stuff animated, it's it's not people don't age out of it and then you can't do it anymore. Yeah. It's kind of as long as they can do the voices, which has a much longer time frame, it'll still work.
My one kind of minor fear with doing Avatar stuff, especially if they do like you said, a 15 years in the future, Aang is a mature Avatar now, is I'm a little afraid of how they'll handle escalation in this world, because the world building of the show is so insanely tight that
true.
Ozai, powered up by the Sozin's Comet, was the peak. Even stuff in Korra, aside from what's his face, Unalaq turning into a giant kaiju. Other than that, I hate whatever. That was the peak as far as what a bender can do. So it's gonna be a little interesting seeing how they handle like what exactly is the Avatar's job going forward. If he's just fighting random like just some random earthbender, it's not going to feel that impressive.
Yeah. Well, what's
Like, yeah.
they're probably gonna have to make it more about like, as I was gonna say, like it's probably gonna have to be more like just like division and conflict between nations and stuff like
Mhm.
that, more than just like, oh, new ultimate back, because it's like you have to be, because you see, because like you said, like, knowing what's in Korra and knowing what's already started after, it's like how this event one way or another has to end up.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure you don't exceed what's in Legend of Korra in terms of like innovations with technology or like places and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So like maybe it could be like founding Republic City and stuff like that or something, or like I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, it's gonna be difficult to gauge that. But if anyone can do it, I mean,
Oh yeah. Like they made Amon, who's not even a bender, not even a
yeah.
bender, half the time, at least as part of the shows.
Spoiler word for those who don't know.
Yeah, it was the #2 show on Netflix last year. Who cares?
Yeah,
Like,
especially
like,
that's the first season. So
yeah, they've seen it. Like, the fact that he wasn't a bender, yeah, he still was so intense. Although part of that was, Steve Bloom's amazing voice acting.
this is
Like,
true.
like they made him. They even made just another random airbender one like scarier than Ozai at times.
Awesome.
Crazy.
Yeah, like totally awesome.
Mhm. So yeah, I have no doubt in my mind that they could easily do that. I also am very hyped for any like, you know, Avatar after Korra
Mm-hmm.
content. Like I've always dreamed of the idea of a like essentially twin avatars where one of them has like fire and earth, one has water, air, or something like that.
Yeah,
Like
that would be sick.
or like is there twins and one's the avatar and one's not? Like I just feel like just like
Ooh.
something with twins being the avatar just I think works so well to
Or
me.
they could be like, I don't know how this would work, but maybe they could be twins and they learn the elements backwards from each other.
Yeah, sure.
That'd be interesting. Now, I don't know how that would work though, because they would have to come from the same place.
I mean,
Well, I mean, they would, but maybe they could still learn it
they could
backwards.
like be like switched at birth or something. Like
Or
so
they
I don't
could
know.
start at one. They could like start at one element and then go the opposite ways, and then meet at the other one of their
Yeah,
parts.
or just like or something with an evil like an actual evil avatar, not
Yeah,
Unalog, like someone who was born into a nation and just like is a bad guy. Like that
yeah.
just so much possibility with this world. I'm so glad they're able to actually do it.
So much world building.
Mhm.
Do you think they'll do like a what if Avatar thing? Because like I've seen like since Avatar's become mainstream, like
Mhm.
well more mainstream in the last like year or so. I've seen a lot of people with like fan fiction ideas of like what if like the Fire Nation was like what if the Water Nation was like evil like the Fire Nation and they
Mhm.
found Zuko and Azula instead of Katara and Sokka, and it's like this whole like oh my gosh, but
Yeah.
like what if stuff and like
Mm-hmm. Or like they could have entire one shots based on previous avatars.
yeah, yes, which they should.
Mm-hmm.
That's all this untapped area which you can learn because there's a lot of that. I know they've made like I think they made a Kyoshi novel not too
Yeah,
long
there's I
ago.
think
So like
two Kyoshi graphic novels.
yeah.
Um,
So like that would be yeah, like perfect. Everyone loves Kyoshi and it's like
uh,
Kyoshi's like, I'm a murderer. I'm like so like yeah, they could do that with like all the other avatars and talk about yeah, that would be really cool.
mhm. So yeah, like definitely of all the different Paramount Plus announcements, that was something that I'm 100% on board with. Like it like I can't comfortably say right now I would get Paramount Plus just to see this, but it is definitely tempting.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like that is especially like once the Avatar once the backlog of new Avatar stuff starts building up and like there's like multiple movies, multiple shows, and it's all there. Like I would probably like find somehow to watch it, but
Yeah.
yes, just yes.
Great idea. Yeah.
Um, obviously I didn't write down absolutely everything, but I wrote down the stuff that I felt would be the most fun to, at least, like, most interesting to talk about. Uh, there's apparently going to be a live action retelling of Fairly Odd Parents on Paramount Plus.
Okay. It's gonna be kind of like those Drake Bell movies they had.
Maybe.
Okay, because those I didn't hate them, but I was kind of like,
You weren't great.
I wasn't crazy about them, you know?
Yeah, I I think something that I think more shows should do this, and I know like uh it's something Nickelodeon was always known for, and I know the Clone Wars also did this. I love it when when an animated show models their characters after the voice actors.
Mm-hmm.
Because Timmy's parents, their character models are just an exaggerated version of their actors. Same with Crocker, etc.
Yeah.
So when they were casting for the live action version, they didn't need to do any dubbing over. They didn't need to find new people. It was just, we'll just have them just play their live action counterpart. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. That is really cool.
Yeah, same with Bo-Katan and Mandalorian.
Yeah, exactly.
The same person.
I was like, wow, she looks really.
Yeah, they sound pretty good too. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I was like, they couldn't have casted any, and I see what happened. Yeah.
So I think that's the thing that's going to be the most difficult about, watching a live action retelling of Fairly Odd Parents, and and making it at all, is that I wouldn't say Fairly Odd Parents is like as iconic as SpongeBob, but there's some just fantastic moments and just fantastic characters and situations that they get into. So, you have the voice of Timmy's dad in your head, you have the voice of Crocker, of Wanda, etc. Seeing them in live action and looking and sounding very different is just, I don't know if it's gonna land.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's weird because like Fairly Odd Parents kind of has like it's one of those shows that definitely got worse as it kind of kept going because they're like, oh yeah, let's add, okay, the baby, okay, the dog, no, the other girl, definitely not.
No.
Like no, like that was at that point it was like we need to stop this, and it kind of was just like they're just milking it because they are and reasons.
And then every single episode was like, Timmy wished for something, that wish went horrible, like, I wish for it to go back to normal. Okay, and then something like takes her wands away.
Yeah. Or then, like, we can't do it because that is random rule that's never come up before at any point. I don't know. Like, and I'm not saying like shows that have a very set formula are bad, because like there are shows like Phineas and Ferb who do the same thing, but somehow it never gets old.
No.
But like, I don't know, it was just weird because a lot of times you kind of immediately saw exactly how the episode was going to go down as soon as he made his first wish. And it was kind of like, with Phineas and Ferb, it's kind of like you don't know how it's going to do what yet half the time, but somehow it's not going to make sense and work out the way it always does.
Yeah, it's great. Also, just something that I think, especially with shows like Fairly Odd Parents, all the fairies are going to have to be CG. It's just, I don't know how that's going to work out. Also, every human has a very exaggerated art style. Like, even though Crocker, the actor who played Crocker, looks exactly like Crocker, just not animated, he still, when it was a live action version, it just, something felt off about it because he didn't have the hunch and he just didn't have the right mannerisms of, because that's impossible to be Crocker in real life.
Your ear down like here. Somehow.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting how closely they stick to the source material or how much they do their own thing. Yeah. In a way, I would kind of hope they just kind of full on just clean slate, like maybe even like don't even have like the same names for any characters. It's just like a new idea in that world. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. That'd be kind of risky though, because like I feel like the biggest thing this thing's hanging on to is kind of like the nostalgia, familiarity. If they loses that, then it's like, ooh.
Yeah.
But could be one of those. I guess we'll find out. Could be pleasantly surprised, so we'll
Yeah.
see.
I mean, it was specifically billed as a retelling, not a remake or reboot.
Okay.
So
Retelling. All these different
yeah.
retelling, remake, remastered, reimagine, reignite it.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see.
Did you watch any Rugrats growing up?
Oh yeah.
You did.
My
This is a
brother.
show I just kind of missed, but like I've watched like some since. But
I think I had my Rugrats shirt on yesterday, believe it or not. But yeah, definitely that one. And they had the like sequel show where they were like teenagers or like preteens or something. That
like
was also
Rugrats
not
all
bad.
grown up.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, apparently there's going to be a Rugrats reboot with the original actors in CG.
CG.
It looks, it's that kind of CG that looks almost like claymation. Like it's
Oh
very
wow.
interesting. Like, are you looking at it now?
Yeah, I don't hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something that I feel like if I watch multiple episodes, it would grow on me. I don't
Yeah,
think
exactly.
it's gonna be as strong as the original. Like even like the light attachment I have to the original show, I don't think this is gonna quite capture that. But like, it's not horrible. So like, it doesn't hurt my eyes to look at the CG. You know?
Yeah, it doesn't hurt, but it's still it would definitely take a second to get used to. But I think that is kind of it looks enough similar, but also like reimagined because like Chucky's hair looks way more like visual. You can see how crazy it looks and everything, and like, but it still has like proportions and stuff. That's interesting. I do think it's a little crazy they're bringing back everything. It seems like.
Yeah, the original voice actors, just original setting, everything is just a
but like
reboot.
I don't know. It's like I don't understand. Like I don't know. It's just like I guess remakes in general. It's like I like remakes, but I feel like as a like I guess culture, it's like everything is a remake now. It's like nothing's any original ideas anymore, which is we'll see. But Rugrats is one of those shows that it's gonna be easier to mess it up than make it better. So it'll see what happens. But
and that was kind of the main thing that kind of turned me off generally about just the breadth of the announcements they had. Like a lot of these theoretically could be pretty exciting announcements, but almost every single thing they announced was either a reboot or a like retelling or just a continuation of something that they already were doing.
Yeah.
Which can work, but
it's a lot of risk just to get your platform off the ground.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah. Like, when Disney launched Disney Plus, they launched with The Mandalorian. That is a brand new story in this already established franchise, but it is a brand new story. And pretty much every other thing they've announced since, like, obviously there are some things that are like that Zootopia show or the Moana show that are just like more in that world, but there are a lot more movies and shows and stuff that are brand new content or at least brand new stories in already established franchises that aren't just reboots of old Disney stuff. And I think that's something that Paramount Plus is kind of missing. That being said, the iCarly reboot has been reconfirmed as real. So that's a thing. Sure.
I like iCarly, but I don't know if I don't know how I feel about the reboot because like
I don't know. Like it could be interesting seeing iCarly in a more updated world, like to be like TikTokers or Twitch streamers or something. But it's just I don't know if I really want to see that. I don't know.
I don't know. It's one of those. It's one of those things that I'm like, it could be good, but it also could. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's a train wreck and only lasts a season, it's like that doesn't go away. That kind of tarnishes iCarly.
Yeah.
But if it does work out, unless it's better than the original, which probably won't be,
probably not.
It's probably not worth the. It's low reward, high risk.
Yes.
Which I'm kind of worried about. But we'll see.
There's also apparently a Frazier reboot with Kelsey Grammer coming back.
Really?
So if you like Frazier, there's
Frazier?
like, I know
That's
Frazier
like
is one of the most highly acclaimed sitcoms of all time.
that's what I'm saying. That's like god tier show. Like you're not gonna make it better.
Yeah.
Like you're not. Like I don't no. That's not a good idea. Like
Especially since Kelsey Grammer is like 25 years older than he was when that show ended, or like maybe even
yeah,
30 at
that
this
show is
point.
like 90s. Like
Yeah.
it's not a good idea. Like I don't like that because like it's you know what I'm saying? It's like a show that was like it's like bringing like Seinfeld back. It's like it's
Yeah.
not gonna be better. It won't. There's
Mhm.
no way. That show was already arguably one of the best shows ever made.
Mhm.
And it's like, yeah, we're gonna bring it back. No. The best you could do is that people will forget about it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like
Uh,
there's no winning in that situation.
it's one thing to have like, like a Frasier like reunion movie thing,
Yeah.
but they said it's a show. So I don't. Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
don't like that. It's kind of like, I mean, not that it's on the same level, but like kind of like when they did that like Boy Meets World sequel. It was kind of like, it's like I'm not saying it's like bad, but it's like, well, again, I never saw it, but like
Girl Meets World is. It wasn't great. It just
that's
wasn't
what
a
I'm
great
saying.
show.
It's like that's what I'm saying. It's like it might be good,
Uh,
but it's not like you're pretty much sure it's not going to be as good as the original. So
yeah.
yeah, you can do a reunion or something, but don't do a whole show
Mm-hmm.
because that's just not fair to the show. You know what I'm saying? It's like redo. It's one thing to like, I don't know. I mean, I guess I know what they were trying to do, but it's just like sometimes it's better just to have an original idea
Mm-hmm.
and that fall flat than to have something already established very good and it's just automatically going to be in the shadow of what's already there. It's
Yeah.
already starts behind the eight ball, basically.
Yeah. Like they announced a whole bunch of new Star Trek stuff coming, and like Star Trek is cool, but like that's already franchise. Like I don't know. It's just like that's expected. Like more Star Trek stuff is expected, especially since like that CBS All Access's main thing is the Picard show. So like I don't know, like nothing here aside from Avatar. It's like super enticing. They also announced the other thing I have here is a Beavis and Butthead reboot movie thing. So like,
Maybe, but I feel like Beavis and Butthead kind of worked in their time. I don't know. It depends on how they do it. It depends on how they do it. Because if they kind of like, because it was very good for the era, like the audience they were going for, but I feel like now that kind of won't have the same effect anymore. But
yeah,
if they kind of double down on it,
I hope
try to
they
go
double
more,
down on it.
yeah, like go for more of that Rick and Morty audience, kind of,
Yeah,
sort of, then it might probably have some success. But we'll see.
yeah. There were two. There were since they were focusing heavily on reboots and sequel shows and everything, there were two things that I thought were sorely missed from this. Two things that I feel if these were mentioned might get me to watch it on top of Avatar. Like Avatar is like 80% of the way there. If this
Yeah.
was there, like that would be the rest of the 20. I control F'd. I didn't see anything Transformers related. No, spin-off movies, no even like these movies are coming to the platform. They probably will come eventually, but like they weren't part of the press release. Um like I think having like if they could potentially get like a backlog of a bunch of different Transformers content, because I know the Transformers animes from the mid 2000s, those were all published by Paramount. I think they have access to like a bunch of other different like Transformers content as well. So like just a backlog of Transformers content, somewhere to watch it all would be pretty interesting for me. Two, everyone wants this. Maybe it's just not in the cards, but a Drake and Josh reboot would just be cool.
Right? Right. Like again, and that's kind of one of the things because like not that spin-off. I mean, I know like I know iCarly's not really a spin-off technically, but it basically feels like it because it's kind of a similar show.
Yeah.
Obviously, Miranda Cosgrove's in both shows, so
Mm,
like it kind of feels like a spin-off without actually being a spin-off.
yeah.
And it kind of feels like, you're kind of like of between. I think if you asked most people, I think, well, okay, I don't know, maybe not most people, but I would say at least people like that grew up with both Drake and Josh and iCarly would say Drake and Josh is better. Now,
Yeah.
people who didn't really see Drake and Josh and only saw iCarly, I can't speak for them, but like I would say most people who saw both would say Drake and Josh is better, and like I would more like to see a Drake and Josh spinoff than an iCarly spinoff because like
Mm,
of the characters in iCarly, they were memorable, but it wasn't the same. You know what I'm saying? Like Drake and Josh, it's like it's Drake. Drake and Josh, it's just their dynamic was amazing. Megan being way older now, like they could be adults and like
yeah.
have problems. Like Megan as a grown. What do you think Megan could do as a grown up now? You know what I'm
No.
saying? Like she could be a terrorist if she wanted to.
Or
No one
like,
would know.
or because the internet is much more prevalent, like she would be like an online troll. Like,
Yeah, or like hack their stuff, or like who
yeah.
knows? Like she could be anything. Like, and I don't know. I guess I feel more like that would deserve more of a reunion because not that I don't like iCarly, but it's like iCarly had more like I don't know. It felt like I don't know. It wasn't the same. It just wasn't the same.
Here is my analysis of how I remember viewing iCarly. Even at the time, I remember thinking iCarly is the gold standard average for a sitcom on Nickelodeon or Disney Channel.
Hmm.
If you are as good or better than iCarly, you're at least a decent show. If you're somehow worse than iCarly, you're trash. Like iCarly is fine. I could watch it no problem, but it's not like the funniest thing ever. It's not the most entertaining thing ever. But if it's on, I will absolutely watch it. Like I generally look forward to like new episodes, or I wasn't like running. I wasn't like if I missed one, I wouldn't be like upset. But if
Okay.
you're somehow worse than that, why are you even on TV? Whereas Drake and Josh, like obviously I wasn't watching it when it was premiering, but from the reruns I watched, it was just so solid. Like all the character interactions felt way more real. Like I cared more about their lives and situations they got into. It was funnier. It just generally a way better show than iCarly. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. As far as like I don't know. It's just I guess the age of reboots in general is upon us. Like I don't the last 10 years, everything's been rebooted at least
Mm,
once. Some things like the Ninja Turtles have been rebooted like 3 times in the last 20 years, which is
yep.
kind of like, all right, give it a rest.
Yep. Also,
But
no information on Ninja Turtle stuff. Like I know the most recent show only had 2 seasons, and the last season was actually kind of fantastic. Uh, like every single fight with Shredder was just like mind blowing. Like literally, like some of the best like Western animation I've ever seen. Like it is still
okay.
Flash animation, but it's so just I can't even like describe it. Just like at some point, I want you to Google Rise of the Ninja Turtles versus Shredder, and just have your mind blown. Like it's very good. Um,
Interesting. Okay, I don't think I ever saw the last one.
yeah, uh, but like I don't think I saw anywhere even saying like backlog stuff of Ninja Turtles or finishing because I know the creators said they had an idea for 3 seasons of that show. But they only got a chance to do two, so they kind of had to rush the last season. If they
Mm-hmm.
allowed them to make two or more, like if they allowed the creators to make just more Rise of Ninja Turtles stuff, that'd be cool. Or brand new Ninja Turtles content with the same creator, but maybe different art style with the same ideas. Like I think it could be. I think it could be good.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's just okay. I gotta check it out. I gotta check it out.
Mm.
That's on me. But gosh, I swear, it's like nothing these days is new. It feels like, you know, and I'm
Yeah.
not saying that because again, a lot of remakes and shows are still good. I'm not saying that they're not.
Mhm.
It's just, you know, it could. I feel like they could make it work
Yeah.
if they just tried other things, but I don't know. And a lot of times, remakes are remembered as being worse than better a lot of the time. So it just
More
kind of
often than not.
right, you know. So it kind of works, especially like I don't know, especially shows, because like shows tend to like the remakes tend to go on way too long a
Hmm.
lot of times, or like you know, and like obviously there are spin-offs of it. I mean, even Frasier is a spin-off
Yeah.
of so like you know, obviously spin-offs can work out, or like the Jeffersons or something, but like also they can't work out too. Like you know, like those are the exceptions, not the rules. So
Uh,
there's that.
yeah. So moving away from Paramount over to Warner Brothers stuff. Um, the Flashpoint movie is getting crazy at this point. Apparently, they have cast a Supergirl to be an alternate dimension Supergirl to be in the Flashpoint movie.
All right, I mean,
Yeah. Sasha Kaylee, C-A-L, Kaylee. Yeah, I'll say Sasha Kaylee. I don't know exactly if that's right. Um, but you want to know something interesting about this casting?
tell me.
Sasha isn't white, and people freaked out, and I loved it.
She's
I think she's Latina. I think I don't remember exactly, but like
Supergirl can't not be white because only white people are. No, I'm just kidding. Um,
that's
but
like almost what people are saying.
well, I mean, the internet's a crazy place. I will say that. I mean, okay, but like, first off, granted, I know I'm colorblind, but off first look, I could not tell that she wasn't white.
Exactly.
But
Who cares?
now that you say that, I can kind of see it. But who cares?
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, I guess, I mean, because again, we don't know any. I mean, it doesn't say. It's not like they were. I mean, there's nothing that says people on Krypton weren't like different ethnicities. I guess so.
Russell
Like,
Crowe was British, so you know.
that's true. That's
Although
true.
Henry
Yes.
Cavill also is, but he wasn't. I guess he grew up in Kansas, but like still, like whatever.
Yeah, and I guess, and I know, like, and I don't know, but I mean, like, I guess it's like, well, does it really matter? I mean, I know they're cousins, but like, I mean,
It's an
the way
it's an
cousins
alternate
work.
dimension Supergirl anyway. So
That's what I'm saying. It's like, I mean, at this point, first of all, this is a comic book movie, so for all we know, she might not even be real.
like
Second of all, like,
I know I've jokingly said in the past that Superman can't be white for like biological reasons. Well, like I was joking then, but like it really doesn't matter who plays Superman. Like it really doesn't, especially if it's an alternate dimension Supergirl. Like she doesn't even need to be blonde. It doesn't matter.
yeah,
Like,
it's like she is obviously more recognized that way, but I don't think it's like impossible.
give her a
It's like saying like
Supergirl.
Green
Give
Arrow
her
has
the
to have a goatee. It's like, I mean, it would help to recognize him, but it's not like you can't, like you must, you know what I'm saying?
Like as long as Supergirl has a red cape and a big S on her chest,
good enough.
yeah.
Right? Because she even has different costumes. Like, you know, like even I know in the Justice League cartoon, she had a white one and a blue one. So it's like, you know, yeah, pretty much all you can tell is the cape and the S. So I mean, that's all there is to it. But
And like there were concept art of her as Supergirl, and like not even blonde, she looked good. I don't know. Like again, you could like if you weren't told she wasn't white, you wouldn't know. It doesn't matter.
yeah. And they'll probably make her blonde or something. Because I feel like that's something pretty easy to do.
And like there were people in the comment section that were like, why would they do this? Like this white actress is like Lily James or whoever is right here. Why didn't they do her? It's like,
oh wow, a blonde actress in Hollywood. I wonder how many of those there are. Like, you know, not to be like, but you know, like there's a lot of just actors and actresses in general. So like you can find someone that looks like just about everybody. But
I don't know, it's just,
you know, it depends on if they want to do it, if they have the time, if they even care. Like, and again, like, and not to be that guy, but like, I still don't think this movie's coming out. Like, I'm sorry, like, I am still not convinced this movie's even gonna happen. So it won't even matter. Because at this point, I mean, this movie's what, 3 years late now?
At least. It's
at least going
apparently
on
going to
4
come out next
probably.
year, but I still don't believe it.
Like I was like, this movie is. I thought wasn't this like 20? Supposed to be like 27, 2018.
Supposed to be
I think?
2018. Supposed to be
So like,
February.
yeah, we're 3 years late. Like now, still, different directors. For a minute, we didn't even have the Flash. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Cyborg was gonna be in it, but then
now he's completely not. So like,
then Ray Fisher left the project. Like,
right? It's like at this point, it's like
bring him back. Come on, what are you doing?
I still don't think this is gonna happen. I'm not even gonna lie. So this might like they might bring her in for something else as Supergirl because obviously it's Supergirl, but like,
especially since this is the first Flash movie we've ever gotten, at least one that's live action, and it's not like it's not the Flash. It's Flashpoint. There's gonna be at least 2, maybe even 3 different Batmen in it. There's gonna be, Cyborg may or may not be there. Supergirl is not gonna be in there. Like it's too much. And it's one thing to be excited about rumors regarding Spider-Man 3 or Multiverse of Madness, where like, those movies are gonna have so many characters in them. They all had a movie where they got to star. Spider-Man got 2, and Doctor Strange has been in multiple Avengers movies at this point. Like, this is a sequel in their franchise where they were already able to shine. This is the second time where, technically third if you count the Snyder Cut, the second time we'll ever see this Flash on the screen. Third if you count Suicide Squad, which I don't. Like,
well, he was in it for like
2 seconds.
Yeah. So I mean, like,
don't count that.
That doesn't really, like that's not really
like we don't get to see him fight Gorilla Grodd or Mirror Master or Reverse Flash or anyone in his own movie first and then go on to Flashpoint. Just going straight to Flashpoint on top of all this other stuff that's not even in the original Flashpoint comic. That's just gonna be thrown in there. Okay.
Yeah, and that's kind of my thing. It's like they're really jumping into Flashpoint. It's kind of just like, all right, that's cool, I guess, but like, we're probably not even. I don't know. I still don't think it's gonna happen. If it does, it's gonna be a while. Like it probably. I say we're at least another 2 years out, to be honest.
Yeah.
So like, at that point, you could just reboot the whole thing. Anyway, so it's just like whatever. But
yeah, like
I think it's a little weird to freak out about a casting of a minor character in a potential movie that has an alternate universe storyline that may or may not. It's been delayed for 3 years. That may or may not even still be coming out.
Exactly.
So there's that. But because there's nothing to do, people love to like, something to complain about. Goodness, I was bored. Like,
yeah.
It's whatever. Like, who cares? Like,
and like
especially in movies, dude. Like, you can make anyone look like anybody. Like, it doesn't really matter.
Exactly. Like, I am positive that whatever movie Sasha actually shows up in as Supergirl, she'll do fine. She'll do, as boring as the character Supergirl actually is. Like, I never found that character that interesting. She was honestly my least favorite character in the Justice League Unlimited. And Supergirl's show isn't the best CW show. But I'm sure Sasha will do the job she's given as best of her ability, and it will be at least good. So
if it happens.
So earlier this week, we actually got just a random, completely out of nowhere announcement of a Blue Beetle movie in the works.
Okay.
Yeah. It will be the Jaime Reyes version of the character, so like the one with the scarab ability.
Okay.
More modern one. Okay. So
I feel bad for. It's Ted Kord, right? That's the first Blue Beetle. I think that's right.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's right. I know what I'm talking about. I need to stop questioning myself. I've been doing this forever. I know what I'm talking about. At least, naming character-wise. So, I don't know. I feel like I feel like Ted Kord's always just already dead whenever we talk about Blue Beetle. I feel like we never talk about him. But
just like in Brave and the Bold is going to be a thing where, like, there'll be a flashback to the previous Blue Beetle, and then, I guarantee the previous Blue Beetle will be in the movie for like 5 minutes in a flashback, or like the opening bit is old Blue Beetle doing stuff, and then he dies, and then the Scarab like finds someone else. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah,
like,
I mean,
I think
yeah,
Jaime is a better character anyway, so it doesn't
yeah,
really.
he is. I mean, yeah, and like his like totally trying to understand the Scarab and all that stuff. That's
Mhm.
and I think that's fine. I think Blue Beetle could be a good character. I'm interested in how they're gonna do this though, because Blue Beetle's kind of always been more of like a Teen Titans around. Well, not always, but like I guess more recently he's kind of been thrown in the Teen Titans
Yeah,
area more.
yeah.
But
I don't know. I also know that there was at least rumors. I think a couple years ago at this point of a Booster Gold movie that would also have the old Blue Beetle in it, since they're apparently friends in comics. So like, if that gets off the ground, we still could get both. So
okay,
yeah,
we'll see. I
yeah.
mean, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But again, Blue Beetle, again, not a bad character, but again, one of those characters that's kind of like, before we get a Blue Beetle movie, shouldn't we have,
Should we have a
you
Flash
know,
movie first? Because this Blue Beetle movie, again, announced out of nowhere, filming this fall. Just,
filming this fall?
yes.
Do they even have a Blue Beetle?
I don't know.
I mean, I assume they would if they're filming, but like,
they're probably at least casting for one. Like,
I guess, but I mean, this fall is kind of soon for this. I mean, I know some people like keep things under wraps, but it's like I don't know about this. We'll see.
I don't know. Like, I think a Blue Beetle movie has potential to be very good, especially since I believe this will be the first live action Hispanic superhero. I think, right?
Off the top of my head, I can't think of one, but like,
Yeah, like
maybe.
if it's filming this fall, I think it might even come out before Flashpoint. So, yeah,
I'm thinking.
I'll even get him in before Sasha. So, like, okay,
All
why
right.
not? I just hope they don't try to make him Iron Man, because
yeah,
their powers are technically similar.
yeah, that would kind of be not cool, but we'll see. Oh, did you know Kyle Rayner is apparently a Latino? Did you know that?
No,
that's what I was. I'm looking this up. This is. I just
that's gotta be a
Googled
new
this.
52 thing.
That's what I was thinking, because I was like, I'm pretty sure I don't remember that, but
not to downplay that, but Kyle Rayner was the Green Lantern from the 40s. They're not. I'm sorry, they're not like. Not to be mean, but like that's not happening. Right?
Yeah,
wasn't he the original Green Lantern?
I don't think he was. I think the original was like Alan Scott, like the OG.
Right.
But
right,
like,
Alan Scott. Okay.
but Kyle Rayner's been around for like Kyle Rayner's not new though.
Yeah.
Like he's been around for a while.
Okay.
I don't. And isn't Jessica Cruz Hispanic?
Yes.
So don't they have like already have like, not that like it's just for demographic counting by any means, but like I feel like that would be kind of redundant. They kind of like, I don't know. Like I don't know how to make that not sound.
But yeah, I get.
But like, you know what I'm saying?
It's
like,
one of those things where like on the face of it, for people who are like who absolutely need characters to look a certain way, it would make more sense to have Sasha play Jessica Cruz. But they're not doing Jessica Cruz; they're doing Supergirl. So who cares? like they don't even have Hal Jordan or any other Green Lantern yet. Like they're not getting to Jessica Cruz. So like,
okay, according to this, Kyle Rayner, apparently, 1994.
Huh.
But yeah, so, like I knew it wasn't like 50s, but like it's still 90. I mean that is still going on 25 years. So I mean, it's not like it just happened. Like Kyle Rayner's been a guy for as long as I've been alive. So
yeah, okay,
but
sure.
I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Whatever. I don't know. But like, obviously,
movie, like so,
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens. But yeah, obviously, I know Miles Morales is half, so like that counts. But like, I don't think he's got a movie yet.
Yeah, he might show up in Spider-Man 3. There's a chance.
I would be for it. Like, absolutely, but I have no idea.
Even if they just randomly got the Spider-Verse Miles in there, like animated one in there somehow, like why not?
We'll see.
I'd be down for it, honestly. Actually, speaking of Spider-Man, time to find out what Disney is up to now. We officially have the name of Spider-Man 3.
Yes, we do.
And like up until late yesterday, this is what I was going to lead with, but then the Paramount Stuff Plus happened. But yeah, Spider-Man 3 is officially titled Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah.
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 From the rumors, that seems about right.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it makes sense where we left because it's like, everyone knows I'm Spider-Man apparently, so like probably can't just be like, hey man, I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, this was interesting. I don't know if you saw this or not, but there was like multiple things like misdirects like all day the other day, and it was pissing me off.
I know Ned's actor, I can never think of Ned's actor's name. Tom Holland and Zendaya all like within hours of each other released like on their Instagram the official title.
Yes.
I think Tom Holland said Spider-Man Phone Home. Ned said Spider-Man Home Wrecker. And then Zendaya said Home Slice.
Slice.
Yeah.
Nice. That last one you can probably tell wasn't real. But like the other, I think Phone Home was the first one I saw. And I was like, aliens, here we go. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh yeah, here we go. And then like a couple hours later, I was like, huh? Oh no. I was like, it's like this is the like, did I get rickrolled? Like what is you know what I'm saying? Like what's happening here? Like I don't, but yeah, No Way Home is the actual name.
You can't have Tom Holland accidentally leak the title if you give him a fake title.
I mean, I know they probably had to sit him down like, look, we are not doing this again. So we're just going to tell him the wrong name. And when he does leak it, it won't matter.
I mean, it was a coordinated effort to leak it all at the same leak it all at the same time.
But I mean, it was still good though.
The whiteboard that like officially revealed it in that little teaser they had actually had a couple of other like fake names for it. We have Homeschooled, Home Run, Welcome Home, Home Alone, No Place Like Home. That's actually not bad either.
Yeah, there's some good ones on here. There was like Can't Find Home,
Home Sweet Home.
Yeah. Homeschooled. Homesick was a good one.
Yes, that
was a good one.
Like especially if he's chased out of the city because from like Craven or whoever.
Exactly. Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool.
Also, I just want to add there are hexes all over this thing. Who knows what that could mean?
I mean, it kind of looks like organic chem, but I mean, we won't go there. But yeah, I don't know what's going on for a lot of this, but it was interesting because like I think this might honestly be a list of like real ideas they had.
Yeah.
And they were just kind of like, all right, let's just kind of do this. And then there was the Spider-Man meme where it was like, the pointing meme where it has them all point. It's like the different names pointing at each other for Spider-Man 3. It's like homesick, no, home world, no. Like, oh, that was good. There was good stuff, man. Good stuff. But yeah, I'm excited about this. We got the name finally. Movie, as far as we know, still coming out late December.
December
just
17th
at Christmas.
Yeah.
Which is perfect.
Hopefully we'll see it in theaters because COVID should be over by December 17th, 2021, right? Right?
9 months later. So we're still here.
There's COVID 20s around.
So COVID 20 came out of nowhere.
New COVID dropped. It's fine.
It's fine. Oh man. Yeah, no, it's hopefully. I mean, as we're saying this, I think they're saying things are generally chilling out. So
yes.
Good signs.
I still don't think we're seeing Black Widow in May, but you know what?
We'll see. We'll see. Maybe they'll move it back just a little. There's enough Marvel TV stuff.
Yes.
To get us through for a while. Because Falcon, Winter Soldier stuff. I mean, we might talk about it in a second, but we're gonna be all right.
Yes. Like I said, Falcon, Winter Soldier mid-March. Loki is actually gonna be premiering on June 11th.
Hmm.
So no actual Marvel stuff in May. I think they're still banking on that being Black Widow's month. Although we are getting the Bad Batch,
Yep.
the first episode of that on May 4th,
Star Wars Day.
and then episode 2 on May 7th, and then weekly from there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Bad Batch is kind of okay. I don't. I'm not hyped about it, even though I should be. Is that weird? Like,
No, I completely understand. Like, it is, yeah, Dave Filoni, Clone Wars, like it same exact art style, maybe even looking a little better than season 7 of Clone Wars. Like, it is something that we absolutely should be 100% hyped for, but these characters, like, we were introduced to them already and like they were fine, but like I'm worried about if they can carry their own series. I'm a little worried about what exactly is going to happen. Like, yeah,
it just kind of feels like one of those things that, like, because it's like we didn't get a lot of the. I mean, they were in it, but it was like in there. I think it was what 4-episode arc, 5-episode arc, maybe. Like,
more episodes.
Like the whole time they were there, but I was really focused on Rex and Anakin. It was like they were kind of just the side characters, and like, granted, the backdoor pilot kind of worked, but it was still kind of like, okay, let's get back to the main plot.
Yeah, it is kind of insane how the Clone Wars decided to break up certain arcs, because that one got 4 episodes. The one after it with Ahsoka on her own, even though the second episode could have been completely cut and nothing would have changed, or the third one, the one where they were like in jail and then
it was the third one, yeah,
that could have been completely cut and nothing would have changed. That got 4 episodes, and like it was a fine arc. It would just last a little too long. You easily could have consolidated some stuff.
No, it is. Yeah, it gets a lot of hate. I don't. No, I don't.
I'm not gonna rewatch it. Like, I didn't hate it. It's whatever.
I was just upset. I like Ahsoka. I was just upset because it's like we only had. You kind of knew going in we only had a certain number of episodes, so every episode that wasn't to the big stuff was kind of like a letdown.
Yeah, but then the end of season 5. No, which season? Maybe it wasn't the end. The arc where Maul was taking over Mandalore.
I think that's season 5. Him and Savage. I think that's season 5.
Yeah, that was only 3 episodes.
Really?
Yes.
The whole thing with like with Pre-Vizsla and all that stuff,
with
like
Obi-Wan coming, all of that was only 3 episodes.
Satine, that was 3. Dude, what? That felt like half a season.
I know.
That's wild. I guess it's just the quality, not the quantity. But man, I think it's because it was like, at the time it was on TV, so it didn't feel as like, oh man, it's Friday. Like, it didn't feel like, all right, it's been a week. Like, it was kind of more like, oh, Clone Wars is new tonight, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, man, because like, I guess it's because a lot of like, if they're meaty episodes when they want to be, pretty much.
Yeah. So I'm hoping the Bad Batch show is meaty. I hope they flesh out these characters. Hope they actually make them, more enjoyable to watch. Show how they are wrestling with the fact that everyone who looks like them is a bad guy now. Mm-hmm. That's fun. I'm still holding out hope for potentially Cody being like a major villain. Like, that's just
that would be such a good idea. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, like, and like, it's just, it's like Cody being a bad guy, like other clones we've seen and like have learned to love. It's like, oh no. Like, like,
you had to kill Jesse. Like,
oh dude, you're right. That was so crazy. Like, Jesse's my boy. Like, oh my gosh. And it's just like, because like we've had Jesse since I think it was like
season 2, I think.
Like season 2 with that the deserter or whatever.
Yep.
That was like his first big episode I can remember. So like,
he was a medic back then, right?
Yeah, exactly. It was like he was just like, yeah, he was the white mage, and it was just like, bro, like, dude, what a show, man. What a show. It's crazy how connected you can be to someone who has the same face, like basically like random generated hairstyles. But
I saw when the announcement of Bad Batch releasing on May 4th happened, D. Bradley Baker retweeted and it was like, who's excited? And when the comments was like, the Bad Batch starring D. Bradley Baker and D. Bradley Baker and D. Bradley Baker featuring D. Bradley
D.
Baker
Bradley
as D.
Baker.
Bradley Baker.
With guest appearances from D. Bradley Baker. Like seriously, but like that must be like the low. Like I know a lot of voice acting like do it by themselves anyway, but he's pretty much just like he can just do the whole episode in one go. Like he just like how would you like
There
that
will be
seems
other
so
characters.
difficult.
I know Boba Fett's partner in season 2 of Mandalorian, Fennec, is that her name?
Yeah.
Yeah, Fennec. I know she was in season 1, but we know her because she'll be in Book of Boba as well. Like I think she's been confirmed to show up in the Bad Batch at some point. She was in one of the trailers with that red helmet. Like that was her.
That would be interesting. That would be really interesting. Tying together Mandalorian and that. See, this is what I'm talking about, man.
And like they could potentially meet up with Rex again at some point. Darth Vader could show up because why not?
Vader could just be around. You know what I'm saying? Like especially because we've seen it was just a second, but we saw Darth Vader in this Clone Wars style. So it's like he could just show up at some point.
Yeah, and like I'm curious if they'll do a thing where they're only planning on a single season and the last episode of this season is them all dying, or if they're like just kind of leave it open for like future seasons. Like I'm not sure exactly how they're planning on going forward with this show.
They might play it based on how like it's perceived too, because like obviously we don't know anything about these characters except what they're going to give us, so they could easily all die, or they could just keep going and have their own adventures somewhere else in the galaxy we haven't explored yet. So we'll find out.
It'd be great. Yeah, that's coming in May. Loki's coming in June, and then I didn't even know this was a thing. Monsters at Work is coming in July.
What is it?
Like Monsters Inc.
Wait, really?
Monsters Inc. show is coming July 2nd.
Monsters at Work? What is this?
I didn't know this was a thing.
No. Is it Mike and Sully or is it different people?
Mike and Sully are on the poster.
Oh. Well. All right then. Okay. All right. Well.
Like is Sully like the director like at the end of Monsters Inc.? Are they
I have no idea.
Harvesting laughter? Like what is it a prequel? I don't know.
Guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sure. Why not?
Right. That is one of those movies that should have got a sequel instead of a prequel, but we won't go there. We've been down that rabbit hole.
That prequel is not good.
Not great. But
it's like college movies are very hit or miss, usually miss. And this movie is just like, let's just take college tropes, but they are monsters. Let's not do a monster college. Let's do a college movie, but they are monsters.
Yeah.
Big difference,
Yeah, you kind of forgot they were monsters, really. You kind of just thought they were just colorful characters. Yeah.
Like there's that one interesting bit at the very beginning, like the montage of Mike like just like exploring the campus, and we have that one team playing football, and they keep like getting back and forth like bigger monsters. But like that in a way is interesting. It also kind of breaks the idea of why is football still a game in this world where that guy can, that like huge guy who's bigger than the stadium itself can just play football. That doesn't like
a little unfair.
Yeah, like it had more potential than it was willing to give us, and it just ended up not being great. But maybe Monster at Work will be. I don't know.
Maybe you can see. We'll find out. As we find out more about it, I'm interested to see what happens. But
yeah,
at the moment, it's kind of like, okay, it could be good.
Yeah. Last little bit of Disney news. It's been confirmed that Danny Elfman is going to score Multiverse of Madness.
Yes.
He scored the Spider-Man trilogy along with Sam Raimi.
The Batman and the the iconic Batman theme, obviously.
Yep. Yeah. So now that Sam Raimi is working on Multiverse of Madness, he's like, "Hey, Danny, you want to help?" He's like, "Yeah, sure. Okay."
Yeah, I mean, what else he's done? I think it says the Simpsons,
Hmm.
Nightmare Before Christmas. Definitely forgot about that one.
Yep, like him, and he's one of those people that like Hans Zimmer, like he definitely
Yeah.
works with different directors very closely. Like he like Tim, all of Tim Burton's projects, like most of them are Danny Elfman.
Hmm.
Uh, Clearly Sam Raimi likes him a lot. I think he did Evil Dead, not Evil Dead, what's it called? Yeah, Evil Dead 2 at least. Um like yeah, like it makes perfect sense that he would want to work with Sam Raimi on a new superhero movie. So
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah,
Especially since I
yeah.
think they got him to like finish the score for the 2017 Justice League. And people didn't
Hmm.
like that because it was different. So
Yeah. I think he did Ultron, I'm pretty sure. Age
did
of
he?
Ultron. And people
Yes.
didn't yeah. People didn't like that one. I kinda like it, but
Yeah.
people didn't like it. But because it wasn't which I understand because it kind of went away from the at the time, the like real Avengers theme, but like it was still
It still
heroic
had
and stuff.
elements, I think, in there. Like it still at least had a similar vibe, but
Yeah, yeah. It was
it
kind of
wasn't
like
Alan Silvestri's Avengers theme.
yeah, like it was like hinted in there, but it wasn't like phone like let's go, get up in the theater and charge like.
Uh,
But oh man, that's some good
yeah.
stuff. But no, I mean Danny Elfman basically that dude in terms of musical scores, along with Hans Zimmer and all those other guys.
John Williams. Yeah.
Oh yeah, John Williams. Like I love the meme where it's like, Duel of the Fate stars like John Williams. And it's the guy with the piano on
Uh,
fire. It's just like, oh,
uh,
so good.
so moving on to in other nerd news. One more little last bit of Star Wars news, actually, although not technically related to Disney. Um, did you ever play any Star Wars Republic Commando growing up? It was on the PS2 and I think GameCube.
I don't know. They had a lot of games on the PS2. I'm trying to remember. I don't think so off the top of my head. I was mostly just about no. I was
Okay.
mostly just a Battlefront, and I played that Bounty Hunter game,
Okay. Yeah.
Jango Fett. But
I
no, I don't think I ever played this
I
game.
didn't actually either, but like it's a game that I've like heard a lot about over the years. It's just like full on, you wear clones in a war zone, just like here you go. Like it's
Awesome.
yeah, that game is being ported to Switch and PS4 later this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. So like straight up,
Yeah,
or
like
like
the apparently the multiplayer isn't coming back, but the single player campaign, which apparently is one of the like most in-depth single player campaigns ever for a Star Wars game, at least from that era, is going to be back.
okay,
So
yeah, this is good. This could be very good actually, because this PS2 GameCube era of Star Wars games has a lot
mhm.
of good ones. So if they want to start bringing these back and maybe make some of these along with like Jedi Fallen Order
Mhm.
sequels, like yeah,
Yeah,
I'd be on
if
board
you've
for
ever
that.
seen the meme of of a clone trooper like kind of leaning against the wall and saying, "Your tactics confuse and frighten me, sir," that's from this game.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
interesting.
or at least like the screenshot is from. I don't know if he actually said that, but like yeah, like you're playing as clones, and like who doesn't like playing as clones?
Yeah, no, you're like, I mean, yeah, as it should be, man. It's gonna be awesome.
Hmm.
Nice. Hope they keep doing that.
Yeah, like it's it's kind of funny. Like Steam has just this huge back catalog of just so many old Star Wars games. Like I could easily buy, Jedi Outcast, Jedi Academy, uh, even a Commando here. I could buy all of those games on PC, but I only have Battlefront 1 and 2 on there. But because it's coming to Switch, all of a sudden I really want it.
Like I wasn't even that interested, but now that it's on Switch,
Sure.
I'm down.
Yeah.
That's how it is.
Mhm. So, one bit of kind of sad news: Brooklyn Nine-Nine is officially ending after this next season.
Yeah. Which I had this conversation with one of my friends. We've both seen the show, and we
Mhm.
kind of had that talk where it was like, I'm sad that it's ending, but I get it
Yes.
because
Yeah.
we're kind of past most of the main plot points,
Hmm.
you know?
It's one of those shows that I think easily could have just it. Let me think how to best phrase this. It's a thing where if they had just like not progressed the story any, I don't think anyone would have cared. If they had just had the entire show being about like Jake and Amy's will they won't they and all these other characters just interacting like with each other, it could have like obviously have like major story beats happen, but not like not like within the like the police unit itself don't like progress the story further. I think it could have been fine, but because they got married at the end of season 6, I think 5 or 6, 5, 6.
Five? I don't remember.
Well,
Hang on.
because they got married, I was like, okay, like generally once the main couple gets married, you have like 3 seasons of good show left. But
Yeah.
then they immediately got pregnant. And I'm like, oh no, we're doing this now. And the end of
Yeah.
season 7, they had their baby, and I'm like, it's over. Like there's
Yeah, that's kind of that was kind of my thing too. It's kind of like, yeah, so they got married at the end of season 5,
okay.
and then season 6. Yeah, I guess it was okay. I don't know. I guess
Season
it
6
kind of
was
got
still good.
lost because that was when they were like, it was like changing like time and stuff. But like, it was like, oh, is it gonna still be out? Is it not? Did it get picked up by some? It was kind of like
True.
going
Yeah.
back and forth. But like, yeah, it's kind of like when they had the baby, it was kind of like, oh man, that's like kind of the end.
Yeah, like I know The Office actually The Office kind of like it's not because the main couple had their child. It was because Steve Carell left, but like just happened to be around the same time they had their child. So
Yeah,
like it wasn't necessarily the baby's fault, but like it kind of added to it.
it was kind
Uh,
of It was and that is the thing with shows. It's like especially like and like the way I put it is like I would rather have a show end intact than like kind of what Community did, where it's like it keeps going, but by the time it's really over, it wasn't even the same show it
yes,
was.
that is exactly the show I was trying to like manifest when I was struggling with thinking of how to frame how I think Brooklyn Nine-Nine should have gone, because that show was so good about like teasing relationships and then like not going for it and then teasing a relationship and then like not doing it actually and then like without anything really changing from episode to episode. Like there was like kind of arcs here and there, but like they didn't really matter in the end.
Yeah.
Like the core cast really it's so brilliant how they're really not any different between episode 2 is when like the cast like really started like getting their getting like the real feel of their character, and then end of season 3, which is when I stopped because that's the only part of the show that really matters. Like they're pretty much the same characters throughout, yet it's really good. I'm like at the beginning of the show they kind of teased uh Britta and Jeff being together, then they kind of were, but like they immediately just like, no, we're not doing this. But they also teased Annie and Troy, but like that didn't go anywhere. The show kind of forgot, but like it's not. But you just kind of like went with it, and then Britta and Troy, and then they also just kind of dropped that. Just like, and then Annie and Jeff obviously like kind of had a thing, but not like it just. And
Yeah.
Pierce is also there. Like,
Yeah. Exists.
like it just so I think it was so clever, just the way they skirted around these tropes and did it so well, yet still ended up having a perfectly good show, even though the characters didn't really gain anything throughout the entire show. Just I thought it was very well done. I think Brooklyn Nine-Nine could have been kind of like that, and it would have been fine.
Yeah, and I really like how Brooklyn Nine-Nine does its character. that's like, again, I say it's the only show where I don't hate any character in the main, any of the main characters at all, which is
Yes.
rare because usually there's always one that you're
Mhm.
just like, the show would be better without you.
Yeah, like Pierce, we don't need Pierce. Like, come on.
I mean, Pierce, it's weird because like Pierce is funny. Like Pierce brings a lot of fun, especially like the first season.
Yeah.
Pierce is hilarious. Like he just says weird stuff. He does that, like that pizza thing where he like tries to slap it in his mouth. Gets me every time. Like Pierce is funny, but yeah, it's like, man, Pierce really kind of like always starts the problems.
Yeah.
But yeah, and with Brooklyn Nine-Nine, it's just interesting because like while some things kind of take their time and like, well, they won't, they will, that other things just kind of like happen very
Mhm.
quickly, and it's kind of like, oh wow, like you said, it's like, wow, Jake and Amy, will they, won't they, for season after season, and then it's like as soon as they're married, boom, kid, and it's like, whoa, that was fast. And like, granted, like it kind of makes sense because again, I don't really, I think they're supposed to be like 30s or so, like I don't really
Yeah.
know, but like it it felt a little rushed for a TV show, you know what I mean?
Mm.
But
Yeah, like I think season 8 still has potential to be pretty good. I hope it ends in a place that's very satisfying, but like it's not surprising that, very soon after they got married, it the quality didn't necessarily dip, but especially after Gina,
yeah,
yeah, after she left, something was clearly missing and they didn't try to do anything to try to fill that void,
yeah.
which I think is fine. You can't really, you can't replace Gina.
That's kind of what I said. And like, if you tried to replace Gina, it'd come off very obvious.
Yeah.
And I don't like when shows do that. Like a main character leaves, and they're like, "Oh, this random character's just now here." It's like, and I feel that's something Community. I don't know if you saw this, but Community really did that with like just throwing in new characters, and it was kind of like it just kind of throws off the balance. It's just like,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. So, like, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is definitely a show that like I wouldn't mind rewatching most of it again, but like I think it's in a good enough place to go ahead and
yeah,
end without feeling. I could easily see if it kept going, getting to the point where you just don't want to like season 8 and 9 of The Office is very very tough to get through.
yeah, and like that's kind of, and like I know there are like people that watch The Office religiously, and they're like blasphemy, but like for me, I got to about the start of season 8, and I was just kind of like, all right, that's
There's
enough for me.
some good jokes in season 8 and 9, but
There
like
are,
the majority of those episodes are a slog.
yeah, yeah. Like I really wanted to get to the Asian gym cold open because I knew that was a thing that I love, but I
You can
just
just watch.
exactly
It doesn't add anything. Like it's just a joke at the
right.
beginning of the show that not referenced again. So
Yeah, and that's it. Like didn't matter ever again. But it was just kind of like, it's like, yeah, you got to that point where it was like, all right, I've seen the majority of the show. If people want, I know what people are talking about when they say this or that. I get 99% of the memes. Like, we're pretty much good at this point. But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Last little bit of news. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. there's going to be a Pokemon Direct. So a little, breaking the fourth wall a little bit. We originally were going to do this podcast on the 26th, but because there's already so much other stuff to talk about, and just another reason I couldn't do it. So okay, so essentially, my brother really wanted me and him to watch it at the same time, but he doesn't get off work until around 3. So I and like, I was just gonna be home all day having to do nothing because what am I gonna do? Read? Come on. Like read a book? Nah. Like so I'm just like after 10 o'clock happens, I'll just be sitting on whatever because I couldn't even open my Switch without something being spoiled.
right.
So I instead opted to pick up a shift at work, so that way I'll at least have something to distract me.
There you go.
That's why I'm doing it today. So yeah, that's happening tomorrow. I would still bet way too much money that Diamond and Pearl remakes are totally happening.
Oh man. Well, let's keep fingers crossed. We'll see.
Yes.
But no, you gotta see your brand. I mean, that's the whole thing. You gotta.
Like it's gonna be 20 minutes of. I know they said it's gonna be about 20 minutes. I think they're gonna talk a little bit about new Pokemon Snap, which wasn't in the Nintendo Direct that happened last week. That was just fully missing. So obviously, I think Pokemon Snap is gonna be in there. They're gonna show more of that MOBA, that like League of Legends style MOBA, Pokemon Unite, that was shown last year and hasn't been shown since. And then announce the next big games. So probably going to be good. We'll see. I mean, probably by the time you're hearing this, it'll actually might be over, depending on when I can upload this. But like, yeah, it'll be good.
We'll be there.
Hopefully.
It's Pokemon Direct.
Although because it is Pokemon, and Pokemon is probably like the third worst fan base on the planet, people hate it just because.
That is how things work in this world.
Unfortunately, yeah. Yeah. So, time to move on to our last segment. Time for some more roll call.
Roll.
So, this is a little test of our nerd knowledge. So, what we're going to do is, Noah, you're going to start by just giving me a topic. And I'm going to have to list as many things from that topic I can, and then I'll do one for you.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so
all right.
Give me just one.
Okay, so first off, we've got how many Tony Stark nicknames to various characters can you name?
Okay. Okay.
Let's go.
Squidward.
Yep.
Point Break.
Yes.
Manchurian Candidate. Does Underoos count?
Yes, Underoos does count.
Okay. Boy Scout?
Huh?
Do they ever call Captain America Boy Scout?
I think that's more of a Superman thing.
Okay.
There's a lot of Captain America ones, but I don't think Boy Scouts on. It's not on the list I have.
Okay. Ice Boy?
Ice Boy.
Ice Boy? No. Man, like I'm completely blanking on Captain America ones.
It's close. Not Ice Boy, but it was close.
Ice Man. Graham? Oh, Star-Lord calls Thanos Grimace, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good one.
The Wizard.
Yeah.
Some
of these are hilarious.
Green Goblin? No, sorry, Green Giant.
Yeah, I think that's yes. Well, it's Jolly Green, but I'll give you that one.
Yeah, Jolly Green Giant.
Yeah.
I don't know. What does he call Agent Coulson? Does he just call him Coulson?
I think.
Because I remember he's like, why is he Steve? No, not Steve. What's his name? Oh no. What's his first name?
Oh, Phil?
Phil, yeah. Why is he Phil? Like I remember he was like, Pepper called him Phil.
Yeah. He said, wait a minute. Think about the first Avengers movie. That's where a lot of them come from.
Yeah. He had to have had at least 3 different ones for Loki.
Oh, he does.
Ranger Games.
Yep, that's one of them.
Okay.
One of them was a nerd clash last week, or a yeah.
They called Hawkeye something. That's what you're getting at, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bird brains?
Mm-mm.
Hawkeye? No, okay. Did he ever call Scarlet, or I guess Wanda, Glenda?
And I don't think so.
I mean, that's
Not Glenda, but he does have a little. It's a little one for her, but not really.
okay. Okay. I think I'm spent. Yeah, I can't think
Okay.
anymore.
Okay. The one I was trying to say Legolas, because remember he calls him Legolas.
Oh yeah, that's called like
movie.
okay. Duh. Okay.
Yeah, but no, but you did good. You did good. You got 7. That's pretty solid.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was a couple of them. Where, like, there's Shakespeare in the Park. He calls Thor. You said Point Break. Rock of Ages. He calls Captain America. It was Capsicle.
Capsicle.
Yeah. Which is Capsicle, and then also Old Man. That's a good one. And then there is let's see, yeah, Underoos. There's also Spiderling.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Flash Gordon was
Oh,
Star
I didn't even
Lord.
consider Titan at all.
Yeah, that was a good one. Build-A-Bear for Rocket Raccoon. Lebowski for Fat Thor.
Mm-hmm.
And Thumbelina and Stuart Little for Ant-Man. Stuart Little. It's a good one.
That is good. That is good.
Oh man, yeah. No, there was some, like there. It was one of those things that like they were small, but some of those were really funny.
Oh yeah, like that's something that I think will be definitely missing now that he's not going to be in the MCU.
Definitely.
Okay, now yours should be a lot easier. Just off the top of your head, I want you to name at least 30 Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yu-Gi-Oh cards?
Yeah.
Okay. The Dark Magician. There's the Blue Eyes White Dragon. The Dark Magician Girl. There's the Spellbinding Circle. The Mirror Force Trap card. Swords of Revealing. I'm just going through Yugi's deck. Swords of Revealing like King's Knight, Queen's Knight, Jack's Knight. There's Berphomet, Valkyrian, Alpha the Magnet Warrior, Beta the Magnet Warrior, Gamma the Magnet Warrior. What else does Yugi have? Celtic Guardian, Noxious Celtic Guardian.
Yeah, well, that one.
For some reason.
It is so obnoxious. You can't kill it by anything that has 1900 or higher attack.
Which is obnoxious. Don't get me wrong. It is obnoxious. I see the point. It's definitely earns the name. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, I already said Blue Eyes White Dragon. There. Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, Rabid Dragon, Red Eyes Black Dragon, Lord of Dragons. There's
so many dragons.
Decoy Dragon. There's what else? Maiden with Eyes of Blue. There's Blade Knight. There's X Head Cannon, Y Dragon Head, Z Metal Tank, XYZ Dragon Cannon.
Yep.
I don't know what else this guy have. Oh, Crush Card Virus, which is so broken in the anime, but it's terrible in the real game.
Love it. I love stuff like that.
There's Negate Attack. Kaiba loves that card. Diffusion Wave Motion. Okay, that's probably 30. But I'm still gonna go.
There's some very classic ones you just haven't mentioned.
I know. I'm just thinking of ones I can think of on the top of my head. Oh, Pot of Greed. Everyone loves Pot of Greed. What does that do? I don't know. They never explain it. Sometimes more than once in the same episode, which I'm like, we know.
Pot of Greed that allows me to draw 2 cards from my deck. Like, we know.
Like, I understand that, like, if you haven't watched the show, like some cards won't be as obvious as others, but like that card is used in every duel that has ever been played in
Yeah.
that show. I don't care. Like, especially the first, like, oh, what else am I missing? I said Sword of the Revealing Light, I think. Graceful Charity, Card of Sanctity, which also is broken in the anime, but not in the real card game.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Oh, Time Wizard
Mm-hmm.
and Jinzo
Zenzo.
and oh my gosh, my brother loves Baby Dragon
Uh-huh.
and 1,000-Year-Old
Yep.
Dragon. There's
1,000 year
Harpy
dragon.
Ladies. There's Harpy's Pet Dragon. There's Harpy's Feather Duster, which is banned. There's
Harpy sisters.
yeah, Harpy Sisters. All those. I don't know. That's like OG Yu-Gi-Oh card. We could do this for a while.
Yep.
What else? Who else has cards? Stupid nerd.
You,
Oh, Toon World. Yeah, there we
oh
go.
my goodness. Yeah.
Toon World. There's like Blue Eyes, Toon Dragon, Toon Dark Magician Girl, Toon Alligator Sword, Twin or there's also Axe Raider. There's what else does Yugi have? I feel like I'm missing a lot of Yugi's cards.
You're missing one very, very big OG.
Did I say Dark Magician?
You said our petition.
Okay. Did I say Blue Eyes White Dragon?
You said Blue Eyes White Dragon.
What am I missing? Oh, the freaking Egyptian god cards. Yeah.
That's not the one I was thinking of, but
that's
yeah.
not where yeah, there's Obelisk, Slifer, and Ra. What are you thinking of? Now I'm going on. Now I'm trying to think. What
Think
am I
of the
missing?
very, very first duel Yugi has.
Oh, the Exodia card.
Exodia.
The Exodia. There's the left, right hand, left, right arm, and the head of the forbidden one. Yeah, those are. Yep. Yeah, I don't think I think only one of the Exodia cards is banned, so none of it works, which is interesting.
That sounds right. I think it's like the like head is banned.
Yeah, which I'm kind of like, why not just ban them all if you're gonna ban just the head? Because the other ones don't really have any other purpose.
Yeah.
Except maybe meat shields, but I mean. Yeah, but
going through some of my Yu-Gi-Oh cards I have next to me here, just to like...
my cards.
Of course I do. Why not?
How nerdy am I? Are my cards right within reaching distance? Not over there. I don't know. Are they behind my computer? Nope.
Meteor of Destruction was one of my favorites. I had an entire burn deck. I can't find it right now. But I had an entire burn deck that like every card either did like flip and destroyed something, or like flipped and dealt damage, or was a spell card that just dealt damage just because.
Oh, those are so, dude. I miss like tournaments before Yu-Gi-Oh got like OP. And like you would just play with like like when like everyone was casuals and like nobody was like, oh yeah, I have my like super deck 1-turn kill like can I just play, man? Like
yeah, like I know the new meta, like if you know how to play, you can. There's civic cards that counter other ways of play, but like there just was something so special about just like building a deck of all wind monsters, just like there were no what are they called?
Pendulum
archetypes. Monsters? Yeah, there are no archetypes or anything. It's just a bunch of wind monsters, a bunch of they'll work together, like just or spellcasters. I had a whole
like you maybe have like one field spell card in your deck for like plus 200 attack, please.
Like I have right here an entire deck of just normal monsters. Like like Darkblade is cool.
Darkblade, dude, yeah.
Just like a bunch of normal monsters with like high attack, and like it kind of works because they have spell cards that help like summon them and stuff. It just
like you just have like a double summon or like even like a I don't know just the simple game. It was a simpler time, and now it's like
Big Koala. I love Big Koala.
I love koalas. Those are good.
Like, Summon Skull, it's a good one.
Summon Skull. Oh, that was one. That was one of the Yu-Gi monsters I couldn't think of.
And then Summon Skull Dragon. Yeah.
Summon Skull. I watched way too much of that show.
Actually, I didn't watch enough.
Yeah, I think the original has like 224 episodes or something like that.
It's 5 seasons, and each one is like 24 episodes a season.
Something like that.
Pretty beefy.
Yeah, like I will admit the ending kind of got until it got to like the very very end. The like last season was pretty dry.
Season 4 is very bad, like hilariously bad.
Wait, which one is that? The Legendary Dragons one?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
The
I will.
the
Yeah, that will.
Mm-mm.
I will say I did like when they got Yugi and Kaiba on the same team. I was like, like like they never do that. And I was like, yes.
And I love how as soon as they both teamed up, they were able to summon
like some broken like
what is it
what is
called?
it? It's like Dragon Master. It was
Dragon
like
Master Knight.
it was like Buster Blader plus Blue Eyes Ult. It was like ridiculous.
You need 3 Blue Eyes, 2
two
polymerization,
polymerizations,
at least 2 cards. You need the ritual card and then at least 2 more cards to summon Buster Blader.
Yes.
And then fuse all that together.
On your first, both of your first, like it was so like the fact that Kaiba got 3 Blue Eyes and polymerization on his first turn does not happen. That no, like that does not happen. So like even getting Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon on your first draw is like, and he does it a lot, by the way. Like to the point where I'm like, you're cheating. There's no way that happens.
And like nowadays, there literally are like there's entire Blue Eyes archetype that like with support cards that allow you to summon Blue Eyes on your first turn, but like not back then. He just drew them.
Yeah, at the time it was just pulled it out of his butt, and it was like, oh, there's no like I would have been like, yeah, no, that's hacks. And he's like, oh, I'll take you and do one better for the extra, 500 attack points. Not that I needed it, but like, just to be extra.
Yeah, man.
That was there are some moments, man. They had to, I will admit, like whenever Yugi and Kaiba had a duel, it was always a good duel. Like the Battle City duel was like, granted, it was like 6 episodes, which is like get to the point, but also
that's every duel. Like it's
true. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna win this duel, but first we're gonna go to this random subplot that's also happening. It's like,
gotta keep it interesting, I guess.
Right? It's like, oh yeah, he's like, it's not a Yu-Gi-Oh duel without a friendship speech. So you got to remember that.
And Yu-Gi-Oh GX was even worse about that.
Oh, dude, I couldn't
like GX.
I couldn't. I tried GX. I tried. I got like 30 in, and I was like, I'm done. Like it just. There really wasn't really any like when you put someone's soul in a card in the first episode, or like the second episode, it's like the bar's kind of high for the amount of conflict that needs to be in the next show, and it was just like, oh no, I'm gonna be late to class or something. It's like, like it got better, but like even then, it was just kind of like I feel like this is not worth the time. And then, did you ever see 5Ds?
That 5Ds was actually the first show that like I was able to like start watching all the way through.
Okay.
It's very dumb, but like kind of interesting. Like the monsters that they used, I think, were more creative than the original show, but like because like synchro summoning, it's like fusioning, but like kind of different. Although the fact that the majority of the duels were them dueling while they were racing on motorcycles was just very interesting. It didn't really add anything.
it was one of those things where it was like completely unnecessary, but like if you didn't really think about it, it was like, okay, cool, sure, whatever. But like,
like
for the most part, it was kind of dumb.
Kind of had a thing where like after a certain number of laps, you gained like points to help summon stuff, but that doesn't translate to the actual.
Yeah, which was kind of dumb. They didn't need to do that. I think that was just a way they could like write themselves out of any potential holes they had.
Yeah, but like the best arc of that show was the tournament arc where they were on land. They were just like in a big stadium, just like dueling like normal.
Yeah, because like it's kind of I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of dumb, but it was one of those things that like looked cool, but also like this makes no sense. Like. Yeah, it wasn't earned, but it was still cool. I like the characters though. I thought Yusei was a good protagonist.
Yeah,
better than Jada. But that's Yu-Gi-Oh. Good times.
Is there anything else from this week that you want to discuss or talk about?
That's all I've got. But we're what 3 weeks away from the Snyder Cut now. What? Yep, 3 weeks from 3 weeks I think away. Today, May 18th, right? Or March 18th.
March 18th.
So yeah, 3 weeks from today. Get your popcorn ready.
Yep. Yep. More
Or not.
importantly, WandaVision comes out tomorrow, and then next week is the last episode.
Hey.
Like
So tomorrow's the last episode?
next week is the last episode.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think.
So there's 9.
There's
episodes.
rumors of a secret 10th episode.
That's what
but,
I've
like,
been hearing. Yes.
I don't think that's gonna happen, but if it does, cool.
I mean, I don't
Great.
mind. Like, I don't like more the merrier. I mean, it's just getting better and better. So like, I'm in.
It's honestly gonna be interesting going from WandaVision, which is nothing like anything we've seen from Marvel, and I think kind of for the better. Just going that straight into Falcon and Winter Soldier, which is just back to Marvel stuff, which like I'm sure it'll be really good at, really good Marvel stuff. But it's not, it's gonna be interesting, like seeing those two shows back to back, and like I don't know. I wonder how I'll feel about Falcon Winter Soldier with the idea of like WandaVision was as good as it was. I don't know. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely going to be good. But yeah, like switching gears dramatically, which, if they don't have that 10th episode, that'll give us maybe a week to kind of like, yes, process and then move on. But like, honestly, I mean, I'm for it regardless because, like, it's going to be like, that's how the universe works. I mean, this crazy thing's going on in where are they, New Jersey or something like that? And, I don't know where WandaVision is going to be, or not WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier is probably going to be everywhere. So, we'll find out. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. And also tomorrow, like I said, I had that Pokemon thing happening. So
tomorrow's going to be a good day.
Yeah. Pretty good. Anything else?
That's all I got.
Okay. And with that, we will see you all next time.
Take care, guys.